Let's see if that works. Need a flat surface, flat surface, flat surface. There we go, flat surface. All right. Wait for everybody to get in so we can say hi to everybody. And then we will commence with the afternoon of pretty much taking the time to come here to the Rio Rancho Police Department here in, well, essentially just north of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Essentially, Rio Rancho is its own municipality and city. As a matter of fact, it's a pretty big city. Probably the third biggest city in the state, to be honest with you, now that I think about it. But we're here. We're here at the main police headquarters. Nothing big, nothing impressive. Like I said, it is the third largest city in the state, possibly, but it is not by far a large city. So it's a normal sized police station. So what we're going to do is, while we're here, we're going to go ahead and obtain pretty much the incident report from the video that some of you may have witnessed last night or watched with us on the NJCourts channel. We did a live stream yesterday evening after the members only fireworks show / concert. And it is the most recent incident that involved the Rio Rancho Police Department and Jimi the Hobo. We all watched it last night. If you have not had a chance to watch that, the clip is available. As a matter of fact, you can find a few different clips that we watched last night, which were both all body cam footage, and that's something I want to reiterate here in a bit. I'm going to go back to that in a second. But you can find that from, and actually, if I have any mods in here yet, if you don't mind posting that link for me, that would be awesome. But whenever that link comes up, that is the channel, and shout out to them. That is the responsible, essentially, for putting out the body cam footage from a few incidences from Jimi the Hobo. But most importantly, the most recent incident where the Rio Rancho Police Department visited his ex-wife's home in relation to a matter of him consuming quite a bit of alcohol and pretty much having a, I would just call it a man baby fit, you know, which, remember, reason we started watching these videos and the reason I even put them on last night was because I wanted to show everybody the similarity between Ski Mask Andy and Jimi the Hobo, especially after, and I know some of y'all, I think about almost 300 of y'all have seen the clip. This is the one that I was talking about last night of Ski Mask Andy. Remember, I didn't have enough memory to upload it onto the laptop. Well, as promised, it wasn't last night. Well, it was actually this morning, early morning, when we got done with that live stream. I did, before I left for my appointment this morning, I did go ahead and post that up. It is posted on the NJCourts TV clip channel. There is a link for that channel on my main channel page as well. If the mods could put that link on the chat, that would be awesome. Easiest way to find it is if you just go to the NJCourts, this main channel right here, the community tab. It's one of the newest community tabs that I posted, and you'll see it. It'll show the video, and it's titled Ski Mask Andy keeps his parents and neighbors up with this screaming rage rant, something along those lines. But yes, it is 14 minutes long, so I will forewarn you. A lot of bad language, you know. I mean, it's Ski Mask Andy, it's a rant. But I will give you right away an earbud warning, because you are going to hear him scream. I mean, it is like I said last night. It's definitely not the, like, as far as using, like, language, the strongest language as far as rants I've heard from this individual. But it is definitely the worst rant I have ever witnessed that has to do with this person, like, physically screaming on the top of their lungs. Mind you, this was like, what, 4th of July morning. I'm sure his parents are sleeping in. I'm sure the neighbors are sleeping in. Remember, he splits, the way his housing is, or his parents' home, is I don't know what their, situation is, if it's a rental or if it's, public housing, and I don't care. But what I do know and what does matter is it's essentially like a 1,200 square foot home cut in half, okay? And one half belongs to the DeCoos, the other half belongs to an unknown family, okay? Essentially, it's like splitting a regular size house in half, okay? Thin walls, the neighbors can easily hear Ski Mask, even when he's not screaming, okay? Whenever he's just mightily yelling, if you want to call it that, okay? All night, all morning long. So, this was bad. I mean, I know for a fact, not only could the neighbors hear him, I'm sure if you were the neighbor across the street, I'm sure you heard that going on. And like I said, this was July 4th. It's early in the morning. It's nice and quiet. And here you have this fucking nutbag. And there was a lot of different comments as to what people were thinking was going on. My opinion is he was going through some pretty serious withdrawals, hence why he was laying in his bed and screaming out of his bed. Just my opinion, okay? But I've seen a lot of them, and who knows at this point? You'll never know with this individual. But if you know about how people that are addicted, how they act, how, their phases they go through, the high to the low, how they act when they're going through withdrawal, I think you're going to agree with my opinion. All right, so I don't want to be rude here. I'm just going to go up the line. I want to say hi to everybody because I appreciate y'all taking the time on a busy Wednesday. I mean, it's the day after the 4th of July. A lot of you are back to work. It's the middle of the day, so I'm sure a lot of you are on your lunch break. So we will make this quick as possible. I mean, I don't know how quick the process is going to be, but to save you time, I am already here at the police department. I'm just about to walk into the front doors. I was just under some shade here just so I could say hi to everybody and let everybody kind of just come in since I didn't put a notification out. But essentially what we're going to be doing is we're going to be walking into the police department, and through the Freedom of Information Act, we are going to essentially be requesting the incident or summary report for the June 24th incident from the Jimi the Hobo, or essentially, sorry, I said incident too much. The June 24th Jimi the Hobo incident when Rio Rancho police were dispatched to his ex-wife's home, pretty much in regards to him consuming a lot of alcohol, being very unruly and rowdy, damaging property. And if you watch the video, there's also some other things that happen. Again, these are allegations at this point because until now, I don't have any ideas if there's anything that's happened from this, okay? Has there been a court case set? Has he been summoned? So, and remember, there was an incident last year, not too long ago, this was in September, that if I'm not mistaken, I believe when the daughter asked the police officer what was going to happen, the police officer said more than likely, this is the one where the daughter was pretty much telling the police officer that her father, Jimi the Hobo, assaulted her. This is when he fell on top of her, allegedly. And she tells her story, okay? Now, Jimi has his story. But the daughter pretty much tells you exactly what happened, which was an assault. Because I guess the police couldn't determine what exactly happened because they weren't there. You know how it goes, and they're obviously, not going to take somebody that didn't do anything to jail if they didn't. They said based on this, they said for the fact that, one, they had the story of the daughter that obviously got assaulted, the fact that the police officer could feel an injury to her head, a bump, and 3, the fact that I guess her sister, who I'm assuming, was also there to corroborate the story that the sister that got it, the daughter that had got essentially assaulted, gave to the police. They went ahead and said that they weren't going to arrest Jimi on site, but what they were going to do is going to go ahead and summons him, okay? And we can get more into that, like I said. Right now, while we're here, we're just going to walk into the police department. We're going to request to speak to somebody that can help us with a FOIA request. And all I'm interested right now, like I said, I'm not promising any court coverage because obviously we don't know if there's a court hearing that's been set for this individual, and that's what we do on this channel. This individual essentially inserted themselves into this kind of whole situation, and not really a situation. I mean, I do say situation because they essentially inserted themselves pretty much talking along the lines of the ski mask Andy coverage that this channel's providing. And what was kind of funny is they themselves, Jimmy the Hobo, when they came on the open panel, they said that they didn't watch much of this channel. As a matter of fact, he said I think he'd only watch two videos. But then it's crazy because that same evening, as a matter of fact, on that same panel, this individual just starts going on a rant pretty much about how this channel, is just one-sided, how this channel didn't give him his opportunity to give his story. And I don't know what story he was talking about at that time, because remember, that is the first time I have ever spoken to Jimmy the Hobo. As a matter of fact, and I said this last night, he had reached out to me months ago out of the blue, and obviously I've heard of Jimmy the Hobo through the IP2 community, but, I don't know why he was reaching out to me. That's why I didn't even open. Oh, wait, I did respond to that email. That's right. This last one I didn't respond to. The first one I did. And that one I just told him, and I was being very professional. I said, hey, listen, I'm not sure if you kind of misunderstood the way this channel works, but we do court coverage. Essentially, we don't, tell people's stories. And I'm assuming Jimmy had gotten in some type of legal trouble. That's why he sought out for my channel to tell his story. I don't know. I don't care. Like I said, I was very professional, emailing him back and said, unfortunately, the channel wasn't interested in, putting out his story, and I gave him a reason, that we do court coverage. And what's funny is, I think I even put something in there saying, as long as you stay out of trouble and you don't have a court hearing, you don't have to worry about it, NJCourts channel. But then I find it just so funny and very weird, not funny, but very just weird is what I mean, that this individual just out of the blue, a few days ago, it's been just inserted themselves through our panel, essentially, and essentially is just throwing a fit, is what I'm understanding, just because this channel's refused to tell the Jimmy the Hobo story. As a matter of fact, all this individual did was just pretty much open up the floodgates to a lot of viewers reaching out to me, contacting me, for example, giving me links to this channel that we were watching videos from yesterday that actually had, and again, this is when I said I want to reiterate this, okay? I think somebody, I don't know if I heard this from Jimmy. I was listening to him a little bit today when I was on my way to Rio Rancho this morning. He was doing one of his little rants. He calls it a live stream. It's just a little man baby fit, just like ski. I mean, literally, it is a mirror image of Ski Mask, except add 20 more years, But anywho, I heard him say something along the lines of oh, nobody gave him, or we didn't give him his chance to tell his story, and we're just being one-sided telling our story. Let me be clear here. This channel is telling no stories. All this channel has done is literally shown 2 videos, and these aren't even clipped videos that somebody just made, okay? These are literally body cam footage videos coming right off the body cam freaking camera, okay, of the officers that were involved in the 2 incidents that I'm aware of. I think when I was browsing through this new clip channel that covers Jimmy, I think there was even a 3rd body cam incident. Again, I can't verify that, but I can verify for sure there was 2 because we watched them both yesterday. But Jimmy, if you're watching, which I'm sure you are, remember, we're not telling any story here. All we're doing is, at the most, maybe playing some of your live streams, so you're telling your story, okay? And that's what we witnessed in that one edited, the one body cam footage that's kind of showing what you're doing while the police are there, because I guess according to Jimmy, he had no clue that the police were actually below interviewing his daughter. Meantime, he's doing a live stream, drunk as hell, I guess he slammed a whole, bottle of tequila, hadn't eaten in days. Who cares? No matter if the guy ate a steak dinner that morning, okay? The guy's going to be wasted, even as, I mean, remember, with alcohol, it has a lot to do with the body weight, okay? And Jimmy's a pretty heavy dude, all right? I mean, for him to be the way he was acting, he's either lightweight, which I know he's not because he's an alcoholic, or he obviously consumed a lot of alcohol, which tells me, yes, his daughter was right, okay? He drank a whole bottle of tequila like she told the cop, okay? So, Jimmy's up in his ex-wife's guest room, whatever, having a man-baby fit to his live stream. Police are downstairs, and yeah, you know, and then we saw what happens on the video, okay? So, all you're literally witnessing there is the body cam footage from the officer and Jimmy's live stream camera, okay? Not anybody else's, not the paparazzi. This isn't NJCourts, you know, with a 6-foot selfie stick, you know, putting a camera through Jimmy's ex-wife's, you know, window. No, this is Jimmy's own live stream, his camera, all right, that's recording his little man-baby fit, all right? So, I just want to reiterate that when this individual goes on and is trying to say that this channel's telling some story, okay, one, at this point, we're not even covering you, okay? Like I said, reason I'm even here getting this paperwork is because based on what I saw, there could possibly be a summons. There could be a court date coming up. And if the viewers of this channel are interested in watching that, we are going to bring that court coverage, absolutely. Because now you fall right into the category of what this channel covers, which is 1, you have to have a court date. 2, essentially you need to be a live streamer of some sort, even if you're like a little Z-rated, bottom-of-the-barrel live streamer, as Jimmy is, as Skiwi is. And that's what's scary, is because these people, as little as viewers as they have, they still have enough wackos that follow them that allow them to have a platform to threaten people, okay? To spread this rhetoric that they do, okay? And that's all you need. As long as you have that little platform, you can make serious threats to people online. And it's going to stop. I'll tell you that, all right? These individuals might have been getting away with this these last couple of years, but the feds are cracking down on this. All your local police departments are cracking down on this shit, because it's happening a lot, okay? This you're gonna witness. This is essentially gonna be, and it's unfortunate, okay? Very unfortunate. It's gonna be like a little internet epidemic, all right? And already you've seen people get bullied. People have hurt themselves. They've unalived themselves from this type of harassment. You've seen stalkers that have gone as far as even stalking somebody and unaliving those people. Remember the story? Not even a story. It's not fictional, okay? This was a real story that happened in Washington, the Washington state, as a matter of fact. When we told you that story, just quickly, it was 2 podcasters, and they had essentially, I guess, started off as a viewer, fan of the podcast, try to have a online, I guess, romantic-y type of dating thing with the host. She was married, obviously, because her husband was on the podcast. Pretty much told the person to leave him alone, you know, pretty much stopped all communication with the individual. I guess it upset this individual, and what did they do? They drove from one coast to the other coast, all right, and murdered this couple, all right? So it's very, very scary and very in real life, as they say, how, you know, as small as some of these individuals may seem, and when I mean small, I don't mean height, okay? I mean they're both small like me, so I can talk shit. But I mean just, you know, as far as compared to some of these other big fish on the internet, right, that are getting in trouble. But see, there's already a lot of other mainstream channels and other channels that cover those big fish, all right? That's why it's important that we expose the smaller fish, because 1, they're just as dangerous, and 2, a lot of them are even way more dangerouser than these big fish, because they don't have as much as the eyes as these big fish do, all right? So, just to give you a little background story, all right? So, let's move on. Thank you for your patience. Looks like we got about over 100 people in chat. A lot of people seem like they're interested in seeing for themselves how a FOIA request works. And I'm glad to see that, because I highly encourage anybody that's going through online harassment, that's been, you know, a victim of online harassment or threats. And remember, it does not matter if it's been a year or 2 years ago, okay? You know, depending on your state, depending on laws, you can still file a police report and get essentially an investigation started, all right? So, a lot of times you're going to find that you're going to need to request public information. And that's the thing I want to reiterate. We're going to use that word reiterate a lot today, okay? Pretty much what I mean by that is this is information that any of you can access. This is not information just because this is a court coverage channel that I only can exclusively access. Skiwi can access this. Jimi the Hobo can access this. A lot of times you can get this even online if you're lucky. A lot of states, you know, especially if it's a smaller state, especially if it's a smaller county, it's a little bit more, not difficult, but you can't do it online. So essentially you have to do the request through mail, fax. The easiest way is like we're doing today, where you just walk right into either the county clerk's office, or in this case, because we're looking for the police report, we're walking, because remember, there is essentially no court case yet. I don't think I don't know if anybody's been summoned. So essentially, I can't just walk into the county clerk's office because I don't have a case number. And even though I have the individual's information, it's probably not going to pull anything up, okay? So that's why we are literally starting at the Rio Rancho Police Department. That is the same police department that responded to this incident on June the 24th. I have as much information that I possibly could think of that they would request to pull up a summary report on this. And I would imagine they are going to have a summary report because, one, they had a few, I think at least I saw 2 to 3 police respond. There was obviously body cam footage that somebody had to do a FOIA request for. Also, the fact that there's the body cam footage, the fact that there was an incident, there's got to be an incident report, okay? Now, there's a few different reports. That's why I want to kind of give you guys the difference between the different ones, all right? Although, let's just say nobody filed any charges against each other. In this case, let's just say the daughter didn't file a charge against Jimi, all right? In both cases, all right? This, like I said, this is just an example, okay? This is not what happened, all right? Just because there was not any charges filed does not mean there's not an incident report. You follow me? Catch my drift? So regardless, there should always be an incident report unless the police were just super lazy and didn't do one, or it was just a very quick call that in the officer's opinion did not require an incident report, okay? Pretty much they probably asked the individual, hey, do you want an incident report? And if they said no, they at that point said, I probably don't need one, okay? But most of the time, just to CYA cover your ass, they're always going to do an incident report. I've seen them 3 pages long. I've seen them almost like a little booklet, and I've seen them where they're just a little 1 sentence, almost a paragraph. That's it, okay? So as long as they got something written down, covering your ass. All right, so now we've got way too many people for me to kind of start from the top and go all the way down and say hi to everybody. I don't mean to be rude. So what we do is we're just going to do like a hello to everybody, okay? So I want to thank everybody for taking your time day after the 4th of July. And one, I hope everybody had a fantastic 4th of July holiday weekend/week. I will tell you this, I did. I had a terrific time hanging out with everybody in chat. Last night I had a terrific time hanging out with all the members of the jury. And now we are back at it, okay? Like I said, with this court coverage, it's every day, 24/7, just like a news channel. We are a news channel. All right, so I want to say hi to everybody. I want to say hi to all the members of the jury. I want to say hi to all my mods, and thank you for all your hard work. Thank you for everybody participating in chat. And unfortunately, like I said, I couldn't read the chat as I was kind of giving my little story here. I will answer a few questions right now, but here in about the next 5 minutes, I'm going to be walking in so we can get this request started, okay? Let's see here. So we said hi to our mods. We said hi to the members of the jury. We said hi to all you all. Who else are we missing? Oh, all our lurkers hiding out in the bushes. Welcome. And you know what? Not even joking. It doesn't matter what community you're lurking from. We're not going to ban you just if you decide to come up. Hell, you don't even have to have the same opinion as me or the other people in this channel. As long as you just keep it under the TOS guidelines, all right? You don't attack the mods. You don't attack the other people. And that goes for everybody else, you know. They're not going to attack you. You're cool to hang out, all right? Now, we do have bailiffs that if you do a little whoopsie, as your ex-cult leader says, you may be put on a little whoopsie timeout. You know, they'll generally just escort you to the little corner. We're not going to put a dunce cap on you here, okay? We don't do that here. But you will be on a little 5-minute timeout. Now, if you do decide to break TOS, and I'm saying you could even do this right off the first bat, like especially if you dock somebody, one of the bailiffs, now, they will kindly, all right, they're not going to bounce you out, but they will kindly escort you out of the courtroom, all right, and most likely you will not be allowed ever to come back again, which I know you're going to make another alt name, which, hey, that's all right, because that counts as another subscriber to the NJCourts channel. But hopefully you learn your lesson when you come in as that alt, so that way you can hang out, participate in the chat. All right, so here we go, starting at the bottom. The farmer knows. Jimmy is all worked up, but you exposed him for being spineless. Well, let me tell you something, the farmer knows. I don't know why he's so worked up, because let's just put it this way. Had Jimmy not inserted his drunk ass into our panel that evening, we probably wouldn't be discussing Jimmy right now, in all honesty. Like I said, Jimmy had reached out to me months ago to tell his story. I didn't know what his story was, and I told him. I asked him, hey, I'm pretty much, I'm sure if somebody would have told me, and it would be an IP2, if you did have any type of court coming up, which, like I said, we'll find out if he does, but if he doesn't, there is no interest for this channel to cover you. So, remember this, Jimmy, as you're watching this right now. You are the one that inserted yourself. Essentially, you self-exposed yourself. And you know what? I've had a lot of people reach out to me that they find that very weird, and so do I. You could just be a total moron, which I'm kind of leaning more towards that. But a lot of people think it's kind of weird that when we started, you know, getting back into the Ski Mask Andy court coverage, essentially after that court coverage clip went out and Ski Mask got exposed for what he really is, and essentially, you know, kind of like what Alexandra's doing, you know, and a lot of these other, you know, bully channels that, ooh, look at all these views NJ's getting just talking about Ski Mask. Let's try to insert ourselves talking some crazy wild shit about, let's do NJ, because we know if we do Ski Mask, he's going to start doxing us and all this shit, you know? Yeah. So, you're either just a straight moron, you're just a straight leech, which, if some of y'all remember Jimi the Hobo from back in the Ice Poseidon days, he pretty much came onto the scene being a leech. And essentially, I think he's always been known as the gnome slash leech. Jimi the gnome, Jimi the leech. It's just he himself that tried to change this persona that he's some travel blogger or whatever the fuck he's, oh, excuse me, F word. All right, that's not too bad. I think that's the first one for the day, but I don't think I said any F words last night. Hey, that's not too bad. All right, we're working on it. But, you know, and remember, I might have just threw myself off track, you know. This individual is the one that essentially has exposed themselves. They inserted themselves into the live stream panel. They're the ones that said, hey, I have this story. These people are saying I did all this. And then, like I said, the floodgates open. What up, Gish? Hey, long time no see. Sorry, I had to call my friend Gish out because I have not seen Gish in a long time. So, good to see you, Gish. But anywho, like I said, had Jimi had he not shown up, Jimi the drunk, on the NJCourts panel speaking about Ski Mask, which Jimi has nothing to do with. Oh, that's where I was going. See, I bet Jimi was all excited. I almost threw myself off track. Now, again, I'm not making any allegations, but a lot of people have kind of said the same thing. They think it's kind of awkward that Jimi is essentially taking sides for Ski Mask right now. Doesn't matter how Jimi words it. You know, I've heard him say, oh, I'm not taking sides, kind of like Alex. Oh, I'm not taking sides. All right, they're definitely taking sides. It's apparent, okay? They're obviously just narcissist and delusional, so they don't see that. Even though they watch their live stream right after, and it's like, hello? But anywho, people think it's really weird that you all of a sudden just popped up out of nowhere, and they think it's weird that you popped out of nowhere when the coverage got really deep into Ski Mask. And the reason they say this, and some of you may not, know about this, but Jimi and Ski Mask go back a little bit, okay? A lot of you have probably gone down the rabbit hole a bit. Actually, as a matter of fact, I know Super Snoopers, one of her last clips she put out recently, she was actually showcasing some of Ski Mask's old live streams. And in one of those old live streams, as a matter of fact, it was when Ski Mask, Jimi, and what's her face? I was gonna say the fortune teller. And no offense to my gypsy friends. I'm having a brain fart. You guys know who I'm talking about. Anyways, and I'll remember here in a second. But if you could remind me in chat, that would be awesome. But anyways, those three. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's gonna drive me nuts. Anyways, EB, thank you. Egypt Beauty, thank you, Riot Coke. So anyways, it was Ski Mask, Egypt Beauty, and Jimi. And I don't know, there's probably some other characters, but I think it was primarily them. And yeah, so they have some past, okay? They've hung out before. So where I'm going with this is some folks think that maybe Jimmy's afraid that Ski Mask has a little inside dirt on him. Maybe it's vice versa, who knows? And that Jimmy's pretty much taking Ski Mask's side right now and pulling this little, essentially like rant and essentially trying to distract, this channel and the viewers away from Ski Mask and onto him, which is very weird, but it may make sense, right? If you're really afraid, and you know how Ski Mask is, if he's got some dirt on you and it's dirt, he's gonna use that and hold it over your head forever, okay? And look at Ski Mask's such a sick individual. Even if you pass away, he's still gonna hold dirt over your head, right? Look at all these obituaries and people's pictures he doxes, all right? So some people have a feeling that maybe old little Jimi the Hobo's, got some dirt or old Skiwi's got a little dirt on old little Jimi, and that's why Jimi just kind of came out of the blue to stick up for the Skiwi, all right? And who knows? Like I said, that's just some theory some people have presented to me. I'm not leaning towards those. As a matter of fact, I don't know much about how close their relationship really was, and I don't care. But I do find it a very interesting theory, I will say that. So, I think we said hi to everybody. What up, Sonny? Good to see you, my friend. Let's see here. We took care of kind of the little bit of the court rules, because I know we've got a lot of new viewers in here, especially some of y'all that may be kind of following Jimi himself and all those shenanigans. Like I said, and as of right now, we're not going down the rabbit hole. But if you guys want to, feel free. Just type in Jimi the Hobo on the YouTube search bar. Easiest way to start it, okay? As a matter of fact, I shouted out a couple of channels last night, or excuse me, two channels that were a great way to start. As a matter of fact, it's where I started a little bit of my, digging into this individual. And like I said, I obviously knew who Jimi was from the, IP2 community and following Ice Poseidon. And like I said, Jimi essentially leached himself, or tried to, and was known as Jimi the Gnome. And if you want to see that, just type in Jimi the Gnome, Ice Poseidon, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so let's get this started here. So that way, like I said, everybody here can witness exactly how an in-person FOIA request is handled. Now, I will tell you this, out of the respect of this channel, I don't care about the scumbag, just out of the professionality of this channel. If the police officer or whomever is that's helping me with this request needs any personal information, I will just silence you guys, or silence the stream, or excuse me, just let's mute it. That's the word I was looking for. I'll mute the stream temporarily, and then I'll unmute it as soon as I can, okay? So if you leave and come back and you find yourself maybe a black screen, or it's just, you can see stuff but it's muted, don't worry, I know it's muted. It's just because I'm giving out some personal information. Hey, Chelsea, good to see you, my friend. I know you guys do different things, obviously, than us for the holiday, but I hope you had a good weekend. Now, another thing, too, and I saw this in the chat, is this individual is obviously like an older version of Skiwi, okay? This person shares a lot of the same traits. They're delusional, for one. They're a narcissist. They pretty much get high, I mean, a super high, off just seeing themselves, whether it's in the negative or in the positive, which there's never any positive for these individuals. That's like I said. I mean, they may have hated it back when it first started, but I can tell you, both these individuals by now, they are pros, okay? They don't, They don't care what type of negative shit you put out there. They love it. They feed on it. That's kind of the hard thing about this court coverage, because as much as you want to expose these individuals, you also know for some of them, they really, really enjoy it, okay? Whoa, hold on here. Hey, Miss Sassy to you fools. Thank you so much for that $2 super chat. And it reads, Jimmy is cringe AF. And you know what? I can say it. So, Jimmy, oh wait, I can't. You almost got me. We're just going to leave it at that. I can't, I'm working on not saying the F word. So, Jimmy is cringe as F. There we go. And thank you so much for your support and your donation. All right. So I think we got a good background story to, why we're here and what we're doing. But hold on, I just wanted to finish the other thing I was explaining, because it was you guys that had reminded me in chat about kind of another theory. Oh, we're talking about just the fact that, hey, maybe he just inserted himself just because he wants some attention. His channel's been dead for a long time. The guy's lacking for the attention. It's like a drug, right? You start losing attention, you start going through withdrawals. I think what really pulled him in was the fact that he knows that I traveled through New Mexico. I do coverage from here. I have a feeling, honestly, the reason he contacted me months ago was because he knew my relationship with New Mexico, and he probably was afraid that it was going to be very easy for me, just like today, where I could just walk right into a county clerk's office or a police department and request information. So I have a feeling because, and it's funny because Jimmy, before that email, had already started lurking in the chat. And it wasn't because he was, and you know what, that's funny, because there's another lie from Jimmy. He said he really didn't know much about this channel, and that's a lie. Because Jimmy, as a matter of fact, was lurking way before that first email, coming in and pretty much trying to dox me is what I think he was doing. He'd be like, oh, are you here in this so-and-so place? Like I said, I don't care. I have nowhere. I'm not afraid to hide where I'm at, okay? So I think he was just being malintentioned is the word I'm trying to use. But anywho, that was a lie. Jimmy, you already know he's a liar, but the guy claims he didn't know much about this channel. The dude had been watching 4 months ago, okay? Prior to even his first emails, where I was going with this. But anywho, he was stalking somebody in the chat, all right? I'm not going to disclose information, not going to go down that route, but he had been stalking somebody in this chat, and I think that all had a lot to do with the fact of why he was so afraid of whether or not I was going to find out that he had done some bad stuff, and that, like I said, it was very easy for me just to get that information. And you know what's hilarious? Look at all these months. We received the email. I had known about him stalking somebody in chat, and it had kind of stopped, I think. And pretty much, he was a ghost, as far as his channel was concerned. And lo and behold, just out of nowhere, here comes Jimmy, and he has the sorriest kind of way to introduce himself, kind of like, oh, hey, NJ, my name's Jimmy, I'll be honest, I don't watch a lot of your stuff, that cocky, I barely know who you are, but that's bullshit. And he literally inserted himself. He's the one that, like I said, opened up these floodgates, not from me. All right, remember, these are viewers that are contacting me, Jimmy. These are viewers that are giving me the links, okay, to these other channels that I wasn't aware of that have, like I said, I haven't made up any story. All I've literally shown, and kudos to that clip channel, okay, is literally body cam footage. And kudos, because that is a lot of hard work, especially when you can't just walk into an office, all right? Sometimes they lose it. It's not, let's just put it this way, it's not as easy as getting sometimes like the incident report, all right? So kudos to that channel for getting it, but like I said before, all this channel has done is just literally shown the body cam footage. All we've shown is a little bit of your own live stream footage. Now, if you're embarrassed the way you look, hey, that's your fault. You shouldn't have got drunk. You shouldn't have live streamed, and you shouldn't have had a man baby fit, all right? I mean, a guy like you, you're a professional man baby, and you're an alcoholic. You should already know. Be like Skiwi, right? Remember how Skiwi was embarrassing himself? Skiwi actually got smart, and instead of continuing to embarrass himself, which he still does, but by doing it by getting drunk, especially because Skiwi was a lightweight, okay? Homie would take like 2 shots, and he's already like, telling all, just yapping like, you know what. So, he knew it. He embarrassed himself. He disclosed a lot of information he generally wouldn't have. And he learned from it, okay? So that's why he doesn't drink on stream. I'm sure that dude, as depressed as he is sometimes, would love to sit there and take a few shots or have a beer, but he can't handle it. Jimi is the same way, except Jimi doesn't stop. He's an alcoholic, all right? So Jimi, if you know you're going to embarrass yourself, just shut off the camera. But see, you can't because you're a narcissist. We've seen, look at who did that not too long ago. What's her face? Alex Myers, whatever. All right? She came onto this. Same thing like Jimi. Oh my gosh. Holy moly. These people are nuts. They're literally, I don't know if they copycat each other. I mean, they do. But I honestly think it's just because they share the same traits. But I forgot about that. Remember Alex? She did the same thing. She just out of nowhere inserted herself into this our panel whiles ago, right? And she was plastered drunk, just yapping all sorts of crazy shit, all right? And then even myself, knowing how much of a narcissist she is, I figured she was still going to be a little bit embarrassed the next day. Nope. Delusional narcissist, right? What does she do? She literally goes on live stream and does a recap of herself. Who does that? A narcissist. And recaps herself making a fool out of herself. And what was really sad is she never once pretty much said anything was wrong of her behavior. It was just kind of like funny for her, right? Now imagine, you've seen the way she attacks people, right? Any little thing, she just and it's delusional, the shit she says. Think about if I would have shown up, it don't matter whose live stream, okay? But think about if it was hers. Her live stream. NJCourts shows up, plastered drunk, starts going off on all sorts of crazy shit. What do you think she would have done the next day or that same night? That lady would have plastered me everywhere, okay? She would have probably dedicated 20 gigabytes of webpage space, all right, to write a Bible about, what we witnessed, all right? And here she has the nerve to, oh, look at drunk Alex. Oh, drunk Alex is right. That is total narcissism to the fullest. And the fact that these people live stream themselves and they don't see it, that's the scary part. All right, enough of that. Let's get started with, let's get to the business part of today, right? But I'm having great with you guys in chat. What up, Bean Gang? Good to see you and you have a blessed day. Hey, Brandy, I'm hoping you're having a great day and I hope you're having fun on your vacay. And I'm seeing a lot of this person, so let me shout you out. MKE, justice for Helica and Bridget. Well, and justice for them as well. I'm starting to learn of these individuals, and it's very sad what I've learned. They're definitely victims, I can tell you that. I don't care what Jimi says. And, you've got to also understand, when have we ever seen any of these people like Ski Mask, Controlla, now Jimi, all right? Remember, they're all delusional, all narcissists. Do you expect them to ever, they're never going to ever say they're wrong, right? Okay? Never. But would you ever expect them to say that they're wrong or, yeah, yes, you're right, and maybe I shouldn't do on live stream? Absolutely not, okay? They never will surrender with the white flag. It's not part of their DNA. They don't care how obscene, how vile, how embarrassed they look, okay? They could literally have the president of YouTube calling them and saying, hey, you're just in an embarrassment. You're lucky we haven't even took you off the platform. Have you watched yourself? Nothing. Nobody. That's how delusional these people are. So, and I feel bad because I know a lot of people with, like we've talked about before, all y'all just like me with big, kind hearts. We've tried, look at Ski Mask, okay? As a court coverage channel, We've provided the court coverage, all right? We've exposed him as the criminal that he is and that he's wanted. Remember that, all right? Ski Mask is still wanted. He has bench warrants in 3 states, all right? And far from fixing his shit, all right? The exposure is much needed because he's a dangerous individual and he travels. When he has the ability, he travels a lot, all right? And if you don't think he's made threats to about probably well over 100 people by now, all over the country, and you don't think those people want to know where he's at or what he's up to? Absolutely, and they have every right to. So that's why this channel exposes these scumbags, okay? May seem mean, it may seem kind of shocking. Now, usually for everybody, it's not. It's just the scumbags and their few little followers that they're like, oh, they're picking on him and all this. Whoa, what up, Brandy? Thank you so much. Brandy with the $20 super chat, showing the channel some love. Brandy, I know it's going to look a little corny, but for you, my friend, air hug. Air hug. And I'm even going to throw in one of these. Yep. One of those. Oh, and we can't forget the real way we say thank you here. And I'm outside. I can be loud as I want. Brandy, thank you so much. Boom, boom, boom. Boom! With the imaginary gavel slam. So, darn it, every time I do that, I get off track, but it's okay. I don't mind getting off track for a donation. Thank you. Okay, hold on. It just takes me a second. I'm almost back on track. Oh, we were doing our little kind of comparison. Oh, Skiwi. So, like I said, we do the exposure, we do the coverage. But for some of you that really know, that some of you that have really been watching the interactions that this channel's had, and the viewers of this channel, so I know I've seen a lot of you in his chat, okay? We have tried reaching out to this individual to offer professional help. A lot of people have, okay? A lot of people have offered. I mean, even before this individual is the way they were now, this is before the whole Michelle introduction into the draw, all the other communities. This individual had his own mods offering him a place to stay, a place of employment, okay? I mean, literally, when he got himself in trouble and was on the run, there were people that were willing, essentially, to harbor a fugitive, okay, go that far, to help him out, because they have a heart for the dude. Now, fuck them. They don't give a shit, all right? They've seen who he is. They know what he is about. They've seen through this scam, but that's the point I'm trying to make, all right? People have, including this channel, have offered assistance to this person, all right? They're just not willing to take it, and we know why. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and just keep repeating the same reason. I mean, just remember the word narcissistic delusional. Wait, that's 2 words, excuse me. All right. So, woo, it's hot out here. I'm glad I found this little sliver of shade here to talk to you guys. Now, before the phone gets kind of overheated or hot, and it's feeling all right. Ooh, and you know what? I didn't even listen to my own advice. And thank you to whoever had given me that advice as a comment. We need to look out for, I guess they said to look out for, they sell these little, like, kind of cooling pads, but for your eyes. So I'd imagine it's going to be like a little oval size. And they said if you get one of those, just, apply it however you want. Rubber band, maybe it has a little adhesive sticker on it. You just peel and it sticks on. Yeah, because it has to stick on your, like, kind of face. So they said if you put that on the back of your phone, that'll help keep it cool. And that makes sense. It sounds like I can see that. Now, if you told me to put like an ice pack, all right, that's going to start moisturizing and water and damage. No. But the cooling eye patch, that makes complete sense. So I appreciate that tip. I should have tried it out today, but I wasn't planning on being outside for a long time. So I love cooling eye pads. There you go. And so I didn't even know that was even a thing. Brandy, when you apply those, like, is that for like nighttime? Is it, I guess it would be to kind of like, if you had a long day, and your eyes are a little tired, put a little cooling eye pad. Oh, to keep the, I know why. If you get, like, especially when you're tired, to kind of keep to keep your, what do they call it? The little rings under your eyes down, because it gets a little, it gets a little inflamed. And obviously, like an ice pack, it helps with the inflammation. So I think. There you go. Takes away eye puffiness. I appreciate that. Simple and easy. Hey, looks like we just got a new member. Welcome, new member. Chelsea SW3. Thank you so much, Chelsea. Sometimes I can't see it because of the chat, because I'm on the Prism app. So I see it now. Thank you so much, Chelsea. I appreciate that membership. And we'll use this as a fake... Oh, wait. There's my fake gavel just broke. Not a very sturdy one, see? It's just kind of these little chippings. This will work. Chelsea, thank you so much for that membership. Boop, boop. Boom! Much appreciate your support. All right, you guys, you ready to go in? All right, so we're going to go in. We're going to request this, essentially, I'm just going to call it an incident report, a summary, police summary, a police incident report, and we're requesting this through the Freedom of Information Act. Like I said, any one of you can do this, all right? You don't have to have anything special. You don't have to have a media license. You don't have to be, a lawyer. Nada, okay? This is something that is welcome to any member of the public. As a matter of fact, most of the times you can do this being from anywhere else. You might have to do it through mail, email. If you're lucky, you can get on like an online type of website where you just put in a name search, case search. But either way, this is your right in the United States, is to request a Freedom of Information Act for information that is available to the public. All right? Cool. So, welcome everybody just joining. Like I said, I'm sorry I wasn't able to go up and down the line to say hi to everybody like I usually like to. But we've got almost 150 people in here, which, thank you. That is super awesome. And I think 150 people here are done with me talking and want to see us starting with this FOIA request. Just remember a few things. And again, I promise, as soon as I'm done with this, we're getting up and going. If for some reason it goes to like the black screen mode or it's muted, that's just because I'm giving some personal information that I just don't want, obviously, to dox. Again, I don't have to do that because this is a FOIA request. This is public information. I'm just doing this out of the respect of this channel, being that we are a media channel and we're just being respectful, okay? The other thing is, if for some reason they just don't allow recording, which should not happen because this is a public building, so recording is allowed, obviously I'm going to respect that. So I may come outside and just let you guys know, hey, I'm going to have to shut the stream off because obviously I'm here to get this paperwork. So regardless of what happens, I'm going to go in and get the request done. If all goes well, you guys should be allowed to go in there with me. That is the law. And you'll get to hang out with me as we get this request done. Now, remember, they may not, although I'm here in person to file for the request, and that's usually the easiest and best way to do it, they may not be able to just hand it right to me, okay? They may request that they're going to email it to me. They may even request they're going to mail it to me, okay? They may just hand it to me. That ultimately, if it works out like it should be, I'm hoping it's just going to be as simple as, name search. Okay, here's what we can give to you, and here you go. All right? But again, I may walk out with nothing. So I just don't want people expecting like, oh, yes, here comes that. And like I said, there may not have even been an incident report done. We're going to find out. If we don't ask, we'll never find out. Now, obviously, there was body cam footage, which ultimately, I personally think the body cam footage is the best evidence that you can get whenever you're trying to figure out what happened regarding an incident. But, hey, the incident reports, though, sometimes, and what we're really looking for here is to find out what happened after, okay? Did somebody get summoned? Is there an arraignment coming up? Or is it just, that's it, okay? Hey, don't worry. No doxing information. I've already got all that individual's information. Mods, if any of that comes through, as of right now, don't worry about timing out. Just delete the comments. Now, since I've already gave the warning, if you do put out any personal information, you will be escorted out of the courtroom, okay? So don't worry. I've got all the information I need. You're okay, Ace. I know you're just doing it to help. So, like I said, don't worry. I'm not upset. Like I said, though, I should have said that earlier. I do have all this individual's information that I need as far as to do a FOIA request for the incident report, okay? And again, this information was public information. That's how I found it, okay? This wasn't me having some secret spy. As a matter of fact, this isn't even me doing that scummy, disgusting, and it's legal as hell. When you see Alexandra literally, essentially, and it's not essentially, I mean, it's just probably like 10 people at the most that are watching, but she will sit there on a live stream and ask her audience to give her information that is personal, okay? And she knows it's personal. That's why she hasn't found it. And that's wrong. Okay, and we didn't do that here. The information that I have was all public. Okay, why? Because this individual is obviously a public figure, but they've obviously had some incidents prior to this one that we're going to be looking up that puts their information out there. So, with that being said, let's get going. Oh, wait, I thought I heard something beep, so let me just check something. Well, okay, and I'm glad I checked. Well, and I did hear right. So, we have an anonymous friend. And remember, if you want to do a Cash App, you can stay anonymous, just write anonymous. Otherwise, put a nickname that you'd like me to call you in a message. And even if you stay anonymous, you can put a message still. So, our anonymous friend just gave us a $20 Cash App, okay? And it said, for whatever. So, you know what that means is, you know what? Let's do an air hug. We already did a few gavel slams. We'll change it up. So, for my anonymous friend, here's this air hug for you. And I'll even throw some sound effects. And these are real ones, okay? I'm not trolling. Thank you, Anonymous. Weird, huh? Thank you, Anonymous, for that $20 Cash App. I appreciate your guys' support. All right. So, let me clear that Cash App here. All right, cool. That way I don't get confused and it'll alert me if another one comes through. And thank you guys so much for that. I appreciate it. You guys rock. All right, so we've got everything. I've got my little man purse. Let me just make sure I got my information, the most important thing, right? I can't even get this FOIA request started if I don't have the information for the individual we're requesting the FOIA for. Okay, I've got it. I've got it. All right, so I'm going to flip you guys over and show you guys what I'm looking at. Hey, Ocean's Daughter. Welcome, everybody coming in. Like I said, I usually like to shout out everybody, one at a time, but we've got almost 160 people in chat, so thank you guys so much, all right? And welcome, everybody. And as I see some people coming in, Kel Val, I see you there in chat. Welcome. I'll try my best to say hello to everybody. Just saw Joe Higashi legit latex. Like the name. What did Jimmy the Hobo do to you? Well, I can't show you the picture he sent me. And essentially, I guess we can read out the email when I can open it on another phone. But I would consider it a threat. Now, me personally, I get those a lot doing this court coverage, right? Bad people, they don't like when, they get exposed. But this channel, what we're doing as far as why we're discussing Jimmy the Hobo is because he decided to insert himself into this channel. As a matter of fact, he was asking for the coverage. Now, I told him we're not going to do it. We're not going to share his story. I don't know what his story is about, but it was brought to our attention, as a matter of fact, and this was body cam footage. So this isn't just smoke up the behind, that Jimmy had an altercation that involved police. And that was just not too long ago, okay? June 24th, if I'm right. Let me just look at my paperwork here. And you know what? There's always three sides to a story, right? You know what? I'm not taking sides yet. I haven't. All I've done is just shown you the body cam footage and Jimmy's own footage, right? There's not even a court case where I can say this individual's guilty at this point. So I hope that answers your question. I know you might not even have been trolling, so I apologize if I got a little adamant about my answer. All right, so let's see. This does result. Yep, June 24th. All right. What? 31 days or 30 days, I think, in June. So that would have been 6 plus 5, 11 days ago, just over a week and a half ago. Okay. That's not. And then the other footage we saw, body cam footage, was from September of last year. Now, last year sounds like a long time ago, but it really wasn't. September of 2022 was what? September, October, November, December. So to January, that's 4 months. And then we're 7 months in, right? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's still well under a year that happened. So, and like I said, if this individual doesn't have any court dates coming up, it's not the interest of this channel. Now, did they expose themselves for the other stuff they've done? and, you know, other people are going to have opinions of who they are. Hey, that's out of my control. And like I said, Jimmy's the one that came out onto our panel all drunk, you know, yapping his mouth about this, you know, story of his. And like I said, it opened up the floodgates. And what we're here for is, honestly, Jimmy should appreciate something like this, okay? Jimmy talks shit about this channel not being a real, you know, court coverage channel. Let me tell you something. Remember, this is a YouTube channel. This is my channel, okay? This is the NJCourts channel. This is the viewers' channels. This channel can be however they want, okay? Obviously, we're not CNN. Obviously, we're not ABC. That's what makes this channel different, okay? Do you ever see the news reporters on ABC doing a court coverage and then next day they're at a gator rescue doing IRL? No. That's what we do here at the NJCourts channel. Little different, okay? I don't have to do what you expect me to do or what you want me to do. But I will tell you this. Somebody like you should appreciate something like this, because this is called verifying facts, verifying evidence, okay? So, Jimmy, if you did nothing wrong, if you haven't been summoned, if there's no future court dates coming up, hey, and if we can find that out today, that essentially clears you of any wrongdoing, right? So I don't know what you would be so upset about. Now, usually what I've seen, though, is when I do walk into places like this, or I do start, you know, doing FOIA requests, usually people get really upset. It's because they are hiding something and they didn't want that to get out. And like I said, it's public information. And ultimately, if you don't want that stuff to get out, what have I always told you all before? It's simple. Just don't get in trouble, right? That's it. All right, so let me flip you guys over. And let's decide. And trust me, I can use some AC right now too. So thank you, taxpayers of Rio Rancho, because I am going to enjoy the AC that your taxpayer money is paying for. And if they don't charge me for copies like they did in Tulsa, thank you, taxpayers of Rio Rancho, because your taxpayers' money is what got me the copies of the incident report for free. Bailiffs, you know what to do. Thank you. All right. So, we do have some prohibited signs. It says no weapons, no cell phones in court. I'm not going to court, so we're okay. No smoking. Don't have any smoking devices. I do have a cell phone, but we're not going in court, so we're okay. I do have a pocket knife on me, so I'm going to return back to the car so I can put away my pocket knife. And then we're going to walk back in. So, pocket knife will be going into the vehicle. Hey, Ocean's Daughter, thank you so much. Ocean's Daughter with the $20 super chat, and that reads, good job. Thank you, Ocean's Daughter. And you know what? Since we're outside still, before I walk in, because I can't get too loud in there, this gavel slam goes out for you. Remember, it's an imaginary one. It's the best I can do. Thank you, Ocean's Daughter, for that $20 super chat. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, man, now my device is hot. Let's get inside. Let's get inside. So this is kind of a dual building. They've got the police department and municipal court. So like I said, we're not going to municipal court. We're going to the police department. So let's see here. Let me just make sure it's open. We're going to records department. Cool. They got a records department. Perfect. So when we were in Tulsa, I don't know if they had one, but the police officer that helped us, the sheriff, it looked like that was just kind of like their main department. So I'm glad that they actually have a specific department that we can go to. And they are still open. So we are in business. We are in the right building. Hello. Good afternoon. I needed, I guess, to go to the records department. Okay. Do I guess go this way here?
Yeah, you're gonna go in here. Unfortunately, because there are people in there, you cannot record it.
Oh, okay. Okay, that was gonna be my next question.
Next to privacy laws, because there are private matters in there.
Okay. Okay.
If you want, you can take your phone back to your car and then just go to records and records.
That's what I'll do. I'm gonna just go ahead and take it back to my car, and I'll be right back so I can check in. Thank you for letting me know about that. I appreciate that. Okay, so we are going to be very professional here, and I'm sure you guys heard that. Let me flip you over. And it makes sense. I like how the officer put it, because he told me no, but he explained to me why, right? Just not no. So it was because there's obviously a records department, and there are people in there. New Mexico privacy law does not allow a recording device to be in there. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and put my recording device back into the car. And I'm going to get this record here, all right? Now, again, I'm going to attempt to. We'll see what happens. I don't think it's going to take too long. So, hang in there. As soon as I get done, I'm going to come right back out. We'll kick on the stream again. And I'll let you know exactly what happened, okay? Now, remember, the reason I wanted to also bring the live stream in is because I wanted you guys to see the process if we were able to. I will obviously give you a very good detailed description of how it exactly went. So for some of you that were interested in the process, don't worry. I apologize, it's not going to be a visual, but I will give you as best of a description as I can as to how it all went down, all right? So, with that being said, let me just get back in the shade so I'm not squinting so hard. Whew, it is hot. Man, oh, it echoes out really good here. All right, excuse me. All right, y'all, so I appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, keep your notification on, because as soon as I get done here at the records office, I will go back live to let you know what the result of my FOIA request was, and then we'll go from there, okay? So, unfortunately, because, they do not allow recording in the records office, I'm going to be just putting back my recording device back in the vehicle, but like I said, I'm still going in to get what we came here for. So I'll walk in, I'll put in my request, see what they give me, what they can help me with. Regardless of what happens, as soon as I get back out, I will kick back the stream on, and I'll be right with you guys, okay? Love you guys. Take care. I appreciate all the support already. Thank you guys. And we'll be right with you, okay? So for just right now, not the day, NJCourts is out. We'll see you guys in a bit.